Welcome, children. Today in English, we are going to learn a new lesson. The name of the lesson is Androclus and the Lion. Long, long ago, there lived a kind, gentle, and courteous man called Androclus. But he had a very cruel master. In those days, kings, nobles, and other wealthy men used poor people as their slaves. Androclus was a slave. The slaves were forced to work for their masters. They had to do what their masters told them. They had no freedom, no rights. Even when they were unhappy with their master, they could not leave him. They were bound by law to obey their master, however wicked he might be. Androclus did not like his wicked master. His master starved his slaves and often whipped them. Androclus felt that even death was better than serving such a master. He kept looking out for a good opportunity. At the first chance he got, he escaped from the clutches of his cruel master. He took shelter in a forest. One day, as he was wandering in the forest, suddenly he came face to face with a lion. His first reaction was to turn and flee. But then he saw that the lion had not moved on seeing him. It neither growled nor roared. In fact, it looked at him piteously as if it was in great pain. Androcles paused. Then he moved very cautiously towards the lion step by step. The lion moaned and whimpered. Please help me, its eyes seemed to say. On a closer look, Androcles noticed that the big thorn had pierced one of the lion's toes. Summoning up all his courage, Androcles stretched his hand slowly towards the injured paw. Androcles took the paw in his left hand. Deftly he pulled out the thorn. Then, tearing a piece of his own clothing, the kind man bound up the lion's injured paw. To his surprise and wonder, the lion then licked his arm as if to show gratitude. Androcles remained with the lion till it could walk again. In the meanwhile, Androcles' master had complained to the authorities that his slave Androcles had run away. Soldiers were sent in all directions to capture Androcles. It so happened that Androcles had gone out alone that day while the lion rested near the cave. Both of them fell into the hands of the soldiers. The soldiers took them back to the city. They put Androcles in chains in a prison. The lion was caged. In those days, people who were found to be guilty of a serious crime were fed to wild beasts as punishment. Androcles too was to be thrown to the wild beast. On the appointed day, the emperor arrived at the circus and took his place. The crowds cheered loudly. Androcles was brought into the arena. At the opposite end, a gate was raised and a ferocious lion was released into the arena. It had been kept hungry to make it more ferocious. Androcles was filled with fear, but he put up a brave front. The lion saw Androcles and rushed towards him, bounding and roaring, but suddenly it stopped in its tracks. Then it moved slowly forward. Androcles saw this too. Each friend recognized the other. To everyone's amazement, the lion bounded towards Androcles again, but when it reached him, it began to purr and rub its nose against him. Androcles hugged the lion. He wept with relief and joy. The audience, including the emperor, watched this tender sight in great wonder. People began to cheer Androcles and asked for his release. The emperor asked Androcles to explain the lion's strange behavior. When he heard the whole story, the emperor was also moved by the gratitude and friendship between men and beast. He ordered that Androcles should be set free. He would no longer be a slave. When the emperor asked Androcles what other reward he would like, Androcles replied that he did not want anything for himself, but he wanted the lion to be set free too. The two friends went back to the forest to live a free life. Thank you.